So this is your home screen. This is always where you'll go when you start your class, and we'll go from week to week. Your instructor information is here. This has all of my contact information, my email address. You can also email me right over here where you have the inbox. Click that, it'll go straight to my email. I do check my email really, really often. You can text me if you need to. Just let me know who you are, which class you're in. I'm in a lot of clinicals and classes this semester, and it may take me just a bit to get back to you. So you always go back to the home page, and this is going to be divided into weeks instead of modules. You're going to go whatever date it is. Like, we're going to start with week 1. Here's something that you need to do before you do anything else. You've got some downloads to do, some checking on your computer. Before you do anything else, click on these items: your course outline, your syllabus, your contract. When you've looked at those, excuse me, you're going to type in a statement that I understand, I agree, something like that, and that takes care of your assignment, and it takes care of the course contract. Go ahead and look through this registration handout. It's going to help to guide you to what you need to do this course. This has cut some of it off, but you can pull this up and it tells you how to get started. It tells you how to create an account and all that. Here's your lockdown browser. You have to have that to take the weekly quizzes, so get that on your computer before the first test. Here's your required textbooks. All right, you're finished with that, then you can begin working on your weekly assignments. Here are objectives. Here are the chapters we're going to cover each week. And here are some PowerPoints that if you choose to look at those and use those for note-taking, that's totally up to you. We'll post online lectures as they occur from the online class. And this is an online class. I mean the face-to-face class. This is an online class, so you're not going to have lectures per se. You don't have to show up at any certain time. You will have to come in for a face-to-face midterm and a face-to-face final exam. We have a few discussion questions. We don't have one every week. We have one to introduce yourself to everyone, and we have some throughout the week when I found something interesting to add. But if you will go by each week and what you're supposed to read, what your assignments are, and take your quiz, then you will work, this class will work well for you. So instead of a weekly discussion question, you're going to do these dynamic modules. Once you've registered into My Lab, you'll click on this and it will bring up a tab that looks a lot like this. You're going to load it and you're just going to complete this. These are going to be graded as complete or incomplete, but they're mandatory. The test won't be open until you've done these dynamic modules. So there's one for chapter 1, there's one for chapter 2. It's going to look a lot the same. Keep going back to week 1 until you're finished. You're going to do dynamic modules for all the chapters that we're covering, and then you can take your test. Here's the deal. All this is open 1 week before it's due. So at noon on Wednesday, this quiz has to be taken. You have a week to do it, so I suggest you start working ahead to where when the next week opens, the next quiz, everything's open for 1 week before it's due. Here are additional resources, a chapter 2 case study, and just different links that I've found. Be sure and look at your announcements very often. This is about the only way I have to get a hold of you. There'll be an announcement every week. And if there's something that comes up in between, I will send that out. Discussions, there are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 discussions, but you will find them in whatever week they correlate to. Now, let's look at week 2. Your assignments, these are all mandatory. You do your chapter 5, 6, and 7. You do these through Canvas. You click it, you go to it, it will mark it complete or incomplete once you're finished. So PowerPoint's optional. It's up to you. Do you want to use them or not? Additional resources, again, up to you. It's something that will help to apply the information that you're learning. These dynamic modules and the quizzes are mandatory. If there's a discussion question that week, that is mandatory as well. Here's a discussion board for week 3. So under assignments, all those things you have to do in order to be complete for that week. Again, we will be face-to-face meeting for your midterm and your final. 1 week before that exam, you will get a blueprint, some sort of review for that, and that is a paper pencil test that we will take. We usually are at Century City. It just depends on space. It could be that we have to go to Vernon for it. Normally we do this at Century City. We just have to be flexible, especially now with the restrictions that we have on how many students can be in a room at a time. So that's kind of the course in a nutshell. Once you've kind of gotten into it and you've explored, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to shoot me an email, text me, call me. I don't normally answer my phone, but I'll call you back if you leave a message, a text of some sort. Tell me what you need. So let's get started.